Out comes a penguin, the opponent pivots into Gliscor, and they are absolutely core broken. Welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Today is a very good day as I finally get to showcase some of the new Shadow Pokemon we recently got access to in the last Team Rocket takeover. Today's battles have been submitted to the channel by Louis Legrand, aka J-Frog, a good friend of mine and a very active member of my Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it's linked down below, but that's not what you're here for. You're here to see some triple shadow destruction, and today you will not be disappointed. J-Frog is showcasing not one but two of the new shadows. We've got Shadow Empoleon, a Pokemon he's invested an Elite TM into, and the Ice Queen Shadow Froslass. Interesting enough, he's running Crunch. I'm not sure if that's because of the TM crisis or he's actually choosing to run it. We start off the video running Avalanche, and later we switch over to Triple Axle. Rounding the team off, we have got Gliscor with that Hail Mary Earthquake coverage. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we see some Shadow and Shadow Climb Empoleon into Shadow Skunk Tank. The opponent says no thank you and pivot into Wormadam. We chip him with the Hydro Cannon, forcing early shield advantage, and then we send out Gliscor. J-Frog shielded once, he then throws at not the best timing, 2-turn into 4-turn. You always want to throw on odd numbers, however underturn. He then fires off the next Night Slash on the CMP side. Is Night Slash enough to knock out? Oof, the opponent survives on minimal HP. Looks like J-Frog happy to commit his final Protect Shield known as Skunk Tank does return. It's about to get one shot. The opponent thinking about what they want to send out. Oh gosh, they send out Skunk Tank. Skunk Tank's getting sacrificed to the Pokegon's Earthquake. Going to be huge overkill. J-Frog gets the screenshot for the road. The opponent's final Pokemon is Toxicroak. It looks like we're the ones sacrificing the Pokemon to the Pokegods. The opponent actually doesn't have Shadow Ball, so Froslass is going to be able to clean up. I thought we was going to get a double boom, but either way, J-Frog's off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see their dream lead. Our Penguin into Public Enemy number 1, aka Bastiodon. The opponent say switches into Drifblim, and we pivot into Froslass. This is definitely a matchup where Triple Axle would be very much appreciated, as it has a 100% chance to Vampire Power attack. J-Frog forced to protection with the Avalanche. Shields in return, fearful of the Mystical Fire. However, the opponent actually bait us with an Icy Wind, but undeterred, we fire off Avalanche number 2, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. J-Frog now sends in the Penguin. This is only enough for an Icy Wind or Mystical Fire. Evidently, the opponent has Shadow Ball as a second move, and that's an easy tank for our Penguin. Despite J-Frog losing switch advantage, we still managed to get the correct alignment as the opponent send out Froslass into our Penguin. The opponent might think Bastiodon's free to clean up, however, trainer, it certainly is not. The opponent force our final protection with the Shadow Ball, and then not wanting to get farmed down, pivot back out into Bastiodon. We fire off the debuffed Hydro Cannon, and it still lands for a heavy, super effective damage. J-Frog continuing to stay in, banks the charge move, and then makes a very nice catch, catching the Flamethrower back onto Gliscor. Despite Empoleon being debuffed, look how low this Bastiodon already is. J-Frog farms up, fires off the Night Slash. Bastiodon's incredibly thick, so Night Slash won't be lethal. It does get the opponent incredibly low. J-Frog then forces the opponent to throw. The opponent's switch timer will be popping up shortly, so we need to be mindful. The opponent might look to make a catch. J-Frog shows great discipline, farms down Froslass, throws the BM Drill Peck, and get wrecked Bastiodon. GG's, and thanks for playing. Never miss an opportunity to show some bad manners to any opponent running that stupid brick wall. In the next battle, we see Empoleon into Froslass, and once again, look how oppressive this waterfall damage is. J-Frog shields, fearful of a Shadow Ball. The opponent actually bait us with an Avalanche, but undeterred, we farm up return fire with the Hydro Cannon that will be forcing our shield back. I have no idea how bulky Empoleon is. Can we tank a Shadow Ball at this stage? We're not going to find out, as J-Frog happy to invest both Protect Shields on his Penguin, and we leave absolutely loaded. The opponent then sends out Toxicroak, and we've got that Drill Peck coverage. Drill Peck forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. We then see the pivot into Gliscor, drawing out the opponent's own Empoleon. However, Gliscor has a running start, and it's going to be high Empoleon, by Empoleon. Get that Penguin out of here. Back out comes Toxicroak, and the opponent's going to be forced to Shadow Ball to secure the knockout. The opponent goes to the Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb just doesn't get the job done. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to reach one further Earthquake, but Night Slash will be some very valuable chip damage. Leaves the opponent deep into the red. We send out Froslass. Froslass gets the Powder Snow farm down, and J-Frog takes the dub. Moving on to the next one. We see Bastiodon in the lead. Despite J-Frog not technically running an ABB team, I really like his team setup, as Empoleon is going to be weak to both fighters and ground types like Bastiodon. We've got two things in the back that can handle these threats. J-Frog has also TM'd 2 triple axle. We landed the triple axle onto Bastiodon, vamping up our attack. The opponent tanked the damage and then sent out Drapion. J-Frog elects to let Froslass go down and send back at Empoleon. Despite Empoleon not having the best matchup against Bastiodon in even energy with a huge energy lead, we're going to be hitting for heavy neutral damage with the hard-hitting Hydro Cannon. J-Frog went for the one shield and farm down. Unfortunately, Drapion makes another move and they get the defense drop. We then see the instant pivot into Gliscor, looking to reset that debuff so the Mud Slap doesn't do even more damage. The opponent chip us with the Body Slam and then continue to stay in. Trainer, what do you have in the back? We fire off the Night Slash, forces a Protect Shield. This Hisui Cup is so limited, I'll be honest, it smells like a Toxicroak. J-Frog agrees, shields up the Body Slam, commits to the full wing attack, farm down, and oh hello Toxicroak. J-Frog going for the Night Slash bait. I'm not really sure on this bait, to be honest, as we've got the Drill Peck banked. I think calling baits is going to give the opponent somewhat of a wink on. Although Shadow Gliscor hits so hard, 2 resisted Night Slashes put them into a range where they're going to get Waterfall down regardless. The opponent needs to Shadow Ball to secure the knockout, which they do, and 1 Waterfall secures the dub. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see some more Shadow on Shadow crime, very much in our favour. Trainer, why are you staying in? Holy crap, look at the waterfall damage. This isn't enough for an Earthquake, but J-Frog recognising the opponent must be incredibly weak if they're opting to stay in. Shields to maintain health. The opponent then sends out Shadow or Bomber Snow. Once again, this is Shadow on Shadow crime, so this Drill Peck's going to do huge damage. We force a Protect Shield with the first Drill Peck. J-Frog already at Drill Peck number 2. Is the opponent willing to invest both Protect Shields? Yes, they are. J-Frog then safe switches into Froslass. An Energy Ball will do massive neutral damage, but J-Frog calls the bait and the opponent opt to throw the Weather Ball. The opponent then stay in, allowing J-Frog to reach the triple axle. Triple axle secures the knockout. The opponent's final Pokemon is Bastiodon. Trainer, you're so weak to Empoleon. The opponent realises that and say, fuck my team building. We're going to rethink it and concede the match. In the next battle, we see another Bastiodon. We safe switch into Froslass, drawing out Empoleon. This might be where Crunch might come in useful, as it is cheaper and has a chance of getting the defense drop. J-Frog gets the defense drop. The opponent looked for the full waterfall farm down, allowing Froslass to reach Crunch number 2. And my god, does that hit hard. I'll be honest, I love to bash Niantic, but credit where credit is due. Niantic gave us some very cool shadows this rotation. So shout out Niantic. You won't hear me say that all that often, but we're going to give credit where credit's due. J-Frog sends back out his Empoleon, looking to use it as the damage sponge. We managed to tank 2 Hydro Cannons. We then pivot out into Gliscor with shield advantage. Again, the opponent stays in. Show me a Bastiodon, trainer, please. Gliscor continuing to farm up J-Frog this time. Not baiting, full sending the Earthquake. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Get that Bastiodon out of here. The opponent's third is actually Lucario. J-Frog doesn't build up to the Earthquake. Let's see if the opponent's counting it. Evidently they are. They tank the Night Slash and we're in trouble. J-Frog is going to reach 1 further Night Slash. However, the opponent can just shield this up. Resisted, counter farm us down. And they're going to be able to counter farm down Empoleon. And unfortunately, we're going to take the loss. GG's to that opponent. Empoleon into Froslass. A very nice lead. The opponent safe switches into Toxicroak. And we answer with Gliscor. These wing attacks are doing absurd damage, so J-Frog can shield once, respect the potential Shadow Ball, wing attack farm all the way down, and despite when Froslass returned and hitting us for double super effective with the Powder Snows, we're going to be able to hit him back for super effective with that Night Slash coverage back out. Comes Froslass and Gliscor has so much energy. The first Night Slash goes unshielded. Gliscor says there's plenty more of where that came from. Fires off Night Slash number 2, forcing a Protect Shield. Gliscor then gets the boost and we reach the third. Is the opponent willing to invest both Protect Shields? Yes, they are. Shadow Gliscor, chill the fuck out. This is supposed to be an Empoleon and Froslass showcase and you are just popping off. However, despite it not being a newly released Shadow, it is back in grunts. So if you don't have a Gliscor yet, make sure you go and hunt one. J-Frog got baited, farm down, and regardless, we take the dub. In the next battle, we see another Bastiodon in the lead. Same as always, safe switch into Froslass. We fire off the triple axle this time, forcing ourselves early shield advantage. J-Frog gonna match shields, respecting a potential Earth Power. The opponent, to my surprise, actually full sends the Earthquake. I was almost certain that was going to be a bait as he was so low. However, the opponent did full send, looking to get the knockout. The opponent then sends out Drapion. That boosted triple axle was ridiculous. J-Frog going to shield up the Crunch, look to Powder Snow farm all the way down, and look at the power of Froslass. Despite the opponent baiting us with an Aqua Tail, which only takes 4 poison stings, they were unable to make a second charge move. Back out comes Gastrodon. Froslass forces the final Protect Shield, reaches a further triple axle. Froslass running through the opponent's team. The opponent's third is Froslass. We send out Empoleon. We're finally going to get to see if we can tank a Shadow Ball. Come on, Shadow Empoleon, please be thick. We do survive the Shadow Ball on minimal HP, make the Hydro Cannon, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we lead Shadow Empoleon into Public Enemy number 1, that stupid brick wall. The opponent say switches into Lucario, and we answer with Froslass. J-Frog is going to go for the triple axle. As we don't have Shadow Ball, that definitely is the way to go, as it does get same type attack bonus, and both moves will be resisted. We see J-Frog respect the potential Shadow Ball. The opponent full sends the Shadow Ball, and that is a huge shield. The opponent then doesn't commit to the second Shadow Ball, so J-Frog could tank the power-up punch. However, we do see him respect it with a shield. I'm wondering if the opponent could have popped and then perhaps counter-farmed us down. J-Frog, not wanting to lose that super positive alignment, chooses to shield up the power-up punch, vamps up his attack once again, and fires off a crunch into Bastiodon. Despite being 2-stage boost, that crunch still did very pitiful damage. We send back out the Shadow Penguin, and this opponent is core broken as they've got Gliscor in the back. J-Frog banks a boatload of energy, say switches into Gliscor. The opponent fire off the Night Slash, they get the boost. J-Frog returns fire with his own Night Slash, forcing a Protect Shield. The opponent is going to be able to take us out with a Night Slash. However, Empoleon is going to be able to waterfall, farm down Gliscor after tanking a boosted Night Slash. How much is this boosted Night Slash going to do? Ouch! Back out comes Bastiodon. We fire off the Hydro Cannon. Is Hydro Cannon enough to knock out? No, it's not. It's going to be Waterfall versus Smackdown, and get that Bastiodon out of here. J-Frog takes the dub. Moving on to the next one. We see the mirror. J-Frog's going to be happy to see the Penguin here, as our backline doesn't really appreciate it. Let's see how the Shadow fares against this regular brother. We see J-Frog invest an early Protect Shield on the Hydro Cannon. We've seen earlier, the resisted Hydro Cannon does around 45%. We're going to return fire with our own Hydro Cannon. The opponent chooses to match shields. It's going to be CMP. J-Frog loses charge move priority, and he's going to invest his final Protect Shield. As this is CMP and the opponent is energy dry, I imagine they let this go. J-Frog is down shields, but hopefully we've got rid of one of the biggest threats to our backline. The opponent sends out their own Froslass, and once again, this looks rough. However, J-Frog farms up, makes a very nice catch of what should be an avalanche onto his own Froslass. This opponent's also running Crunch. Perhaps Crunch is the way to go in this meta. J-Frog farms up, fires off the triple axle, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. The opponent then gets the full Powder Snow farm down. J-Frog sends out Empoleon. We don't see the opponent make a catch. It's all going to be about what the opponent's third is. The opponent's third is their own Gliscor. We stay in, get off as much waterfall damage as possible, and this game is going to come down to RNG. Does the opponent get the boost on the first go? It's a 1 in 10 chance. The RNG gods say, not today, trainer. J-Frog's now going to be able to survive this next Night Slash, reach his own Night Slash, and take the dub. If I had £1 for every time I said Night Slash in this video, I probably wouldn't have to go to work tomorrow. GG's and thanks for playing. Speaking of boost, J-Frog of course gets the unnecessary boost to end the video. Huge shout out to J-Frog, bringing us 2 of the new Shadows, so I'm now going to give you my thoughts on them. I think the Shadow Penguin is a huge improvement over the regular variant. Shadows do 20% more damage, while taking 20% more damage in return. However, when using an oppressive fast move like Waterfall, it's definitely the way to go, as them Shadow Waterfalls were just doing absurd damage. I think Shadow Froslass is more of a side grade. It very much depends on what moveset you'd like to run. Avalanche is one of the best moves in the game, so I think the regular variant, running Avalanche and Shadow Ball, is still better than the Shadow. However, if you want to use the new move of Triple Axle, the Shadow, of course, is the way to go, because you're going to vamp up your attack and do even more damage. I think Triple Axle and Crunch is definitely very viable if you'd like to use a Shadow Froslass. Of course, Gliscor isn't a newly released Pokemon, but you saw in this video, that thing is just a monster, so go make sure you hunt one. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, like J-Frog did, a link to my battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.